All right, so this is part two of the mortgages lesson. So in part one, we looked at solving for the net worth, solving for the debt to equity ratio and the gross debt service ratio, and using those numbers to make financial decisions. So in this lesson, we are going to explore the financial math of mortgages. And so a key term here with mortgages is, well, a mortgage is a loan, usually for the purchase of real estate, where the real estate itself that's being purchased is collateral to secure the loan. And that's very important to note, because if you do have a mortgage for a home or a condo, if you default on your payments to the mortgage, then the bank can actually call in the mortgage and repossess the home. So it's very important to note that when you do have a mortgage that you do make the regular payments. So equity is something that appears to be a big deal with owning real estate. So when you buy a home, for example, and you get a mortgage for it, you do have to pay back the debt itself. But as you start to pay back the mortgage, you build up equity in the home or the real estate, whatever it is. And so equity is the difference between the value of an item at the time and the amount that's still owing on its loan, and we call that the balance. So really, it's the portion of the item that you own. So for example, if you own a home that's worth $200,000 and you have a balance owing on the mortgage of $100,000, $200,000 minus $100,000 means that you have $100,000 equity, which would be considered an asset. So that's important to note. If you just rent an apartment or rent a home, you do not get owner's equity. So that is something that's important if you are considering choosing between renting or buying a home. Okay, so we will begin by looking at an example here. So we've got a home that's valued at $285,000, and it was purchased with a 5% down payment. Typically, down payments are listed as a percentage of the home value, so we will have to calculate the dollar amount by taking 0.05 times the home value. So the balance is what we're going to get the mortgage for. The balance is financed at 3.62% over 20 years, compounded semi-annually. So the first thing we're going to do is figure out what the down payment was and how much principal we were borrowing. So the down payment will equal the home value, $285,000, and we're going to multiply that by 0.05, which is the decimal form of 5%. $285,000 times 0.05, and we get $14,250. The principal that we borrow, or the present value of our mortgage, will be the home value of $285,000, and we'll subtract the down payment, $14,250. 285,000 minus 14,250, and we get $270,750. So that's important to note that that is the present value of the mortgage. So we'll move down, and we're going to calculate. The first thing we can do is calculate the monthly mortgage payment. So how much was paid in total over the 20 years will be the second part. And we'll look at how we get that from the mortgage payment per month. So for the month, we subtracted the and get $100 payment would be $1.09. So the total amount paid for the mortgage is $240 for 20 years. Take $140. Note So that's certain kind of calculate the initial that does $120 and that $120 is the 20 years. So again, this comes one amount. So we're going to pay 80,000. This was so again, initial so the so we like how this you know that we're going $52 and just to negative. Balance remaining was $1,050. $1,350 for that's the amount that for sure. So this amount that we just calculated, $9,367.93, represents the amount of principal that was paid in the first year. So this represents the principal amount, or sorry, amount of principal paid off. Okay, so now we do know that we made a monthly payment of $1,586.99, and if we multiply that by 12 months, we're going to get a very different number. It's going to be bigger than that amount. So if we go 12 months times $1,586.99, we get $19,043.88. So 19,000. So how do we get a here? We're going to take out $10,048 and we'll stack 93.67 and 93. So we get 175. That would be the things that we will give you how much you paid in the first 5 years, in the first 10 years, whatever balance remaining at that. So you can actually account for amount of payments you made. 9,043. We're not to do 10 days time we're supposed to hang off it. So part of the periods of being one time times 15 years times. Now our set is they and the next one was appreciation. So this is that can appreciate in value, which every year will go in value. And this course is rates appreciation. The value of is modified simple interest formula. For it's not the big course, which is the plus and we're going to the power number of this was 285,000 times 1 plus 0.0125. We'll raise that 15. And you get 343,376.3, and we'll round it to the nearest hundredth, so 0.32. So 343, $336. That's 15 months annual appreciation. So equity is the. What we have to do this is take the 15 years. That's going to equal 15. We will these our appreciated value, $33. 343,376.32, and we're going to subtract $86,978.91. The equity in the home years is $256,397.40. or sorry, owning this home. So by now, you do that if it's a bridge by value, is that positive or you're only more people don't pay. It's not pay in a period of 8 months or again, we want to pay more instead to